Hey everyone, Covert GG here with Escape from Tarkov Market Watch. Today we'll be discussing the hideout, crafting, the flea market, cold hard cash, and how to make it. Now, like most of you, I've witnessed some huge swings in the .12 economy. And we've also seen just how diverse money making has become. Well, as I started to level up my hideout and I continue to do so, I started to notice some really lucrative crafting options. But you know what? Let's just get right into the meat and potatoes. If we take a look here, and we'll go ahead and we'll enter into my hideout, what you're going to find is my lavatory, my nutrition unit, my medical station are all level 2, and my workbench back there is level 3. But let's go ahead and drill down into the toilet. Now, I want to start here because there's two great crafting options, arguably two of the best. So you're going to have corrugated hose and magazine case. The corrugated hose is one of the most highly sought after items currently in the Escape from Tarkov economy. There's two reasons for that. One, you need it to fulfill a task, and it's required to be found in raid. Number two is you need a whopping 26 of these bad boys to fully upgrade your hideout. Now, let's take a second. Earlier this week, Battlestate Games announced that any item crafted inside of your hideout is going to be considered found in raid. That's really important for this example and for a future example I'm going to provide. So you can actually utilize this crafting option to fulfill your quest and to fully upgrade your hideout, but that's not what this video is really about. This video is really about making money, and let me demonstrate how. So the corrugated hose is going to require 3 insulating tape, 3 wires, and a silicone tube. Hypothetically, if you just went into the flea market and you bought all these items, it's going to cost you between 140 and 150,000 rubles. Now, when you go to sell this reward, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to sell that for about 300,000 rubles. That means that your net profit is going to be 160,000 rubles. You could just flip this thing all day and make money. Now, there is a timer that's required in order for you to craft these items, so there is a time cost to that, and you do have to take that into consideration. However, what I want to demonstrate is there are some money makers here. The second item is going to be a magazine case. Now, the magazine case is going to require 2 fuel tanks, metal cutting scissors, 3 bolts, and 3 screw nuts. Again, total flea market cost for those items is going to be between 170 and 180,000 rubles. However, magazine cases are going for between 400 and 500,000 rubles. That means that at minimum, you're going to turn 234,000 rubles in profit. That's huge. Now, the real thing here is these items are going to become more valuable over time as people start to discover this, because they're going to see what the profit-making opportunities are. And that's why it's so important that you watch this video and you start to take action now while there's still an opportunity. The second example I'm going to provide is going to be over at the nutrition unit. Now, the nutrition unit is a little bit different in that there's not huge money makers here. However, what you are going to have is you're going to have condensed milk and Wilson cigarettes. Now, condensed milk is going for about 20,000 rubles. These two items together are going to cost you 24,000 rubles. Well, that means that every time you would flip one of these, you'd be losing 4,000 rubles. However, condensed milk is a requirement for a trade to therapist for the Kiba 1 key. At which point you would now have access to Kiba, which does have the potential for some really sweet loot. So this could down the road be something that would be viable for you. The other one is going to be the Wilson cigarette. Now, the Wilson cigarette's a bit of a mixed bag in of itself, in that the Wilson cigarette is part of a mechanic quest, and the Wilson cigarettes, can be a huge pain in the butt to find and raid. Well, now you can make them and fulfill that quest. However, there is the possibility that if you just go for Apollos and the Blend English tea, you might be able to sell these two for a profit. And the reason being is no one's going to buy Wilson cigarettes from you because they have to be found in raid or crafted in your hideout in order to be turned in, because it is a raid only item. However, they could buy these two items from you and then make their own Wilson cigarettes. So this is something that remains to be seen, but these two items could eventually be a moneymaker. The second to last example I wanted to provide was going to be the medical station. Now the medical station only has one really solid option, but here's the thing, is I think it's a sneaky good option that may have legs. And what I mean by that is I think a lot of these are going to be exposed in short order. I don't think you're going to be able to maximize your profit for a long period of time with some of these. However, I do think people are not going to realize that Pile of Meds and Army Bandage are going to give you a consistent profit over time. So, for example, in order to acquire these two items, it's going to cost you between 9 and 10,000 rubles. However, two IFAKs are going to net you 25,000 rubles, which means that every time you flip this, you're going to be making about 15,000 rubles. That's a 60% net profit margin. And I think this one is going to fly under the radar, and you might be able to do this for quite a while. Now, last but not least, I'm going to take you over to the Workbench here. And the Workbench is going to have 4 different options, and there's some pretty good ones here. I'll start with the RGD hand grenade. Every time you turn in one of these OFZ shells, you're going to get 5 grenades. So the OFC market cost right now is 20K. 5 hand grenades is going to net you between 46 and 47,000 rubles. That's going to be a net profit of 26,465 rubles. You have another option up here, which is going to be the 7.62 BP rounds. Now, in order to make this, you're going to need the Gunpowder Eagle, which is going to have a cost of 17K. And this stack of 120 BP rounds is going to sell for 42,000 rubles with a net profit of 25,000. And then we're going to have the 7N39. Now the 7N39 is an interesting bag. This is a great round. So you could opt to keep these, especially early game when 545 seems to be the more prevalent ammo to run. Now in order to craft these though, you're going to need 1 of each gunpowder. That's going to cost you 48,000 rubles. This stack of 130 is going to sell for 65,000 rubles. That means your profit on this is going to be 17,000 rubles. Now the last one here, and I think it's one of the better ones, is going to be the M61 round. This one requires 3 hot gunpowder and a radiator helix. Your total cost to make these are going to be 62,000. Your total revenue is going to be 97,500, and your net profit on this is going to be 35,500. So another really solid option. Now, all the items I've highlighted today, they're all money makers, but that's as of today. If you did one of each of these, you would net over 500,000 rubles in one fell swoop. Granted, as players begin to discover this, then prices are going to start to inflate. However, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay ahead of everyone else as we keep you up to date with EFT Market Watch. If you've enjoyed the video, thumbs it up, hit us with a subscribe, and until next time, I'm Covert GG, and this was EFT Market Watch. Peace.